ଆଉ ସମସ୍ତେ ଗୁଡ୍ ମର୍ଣ୍ଣିଂ ସୁପ୍ରଭାତ। ଆଜିର ଦିନ ତୁମଙ୍କର ଶୁଭମୟ ହେଉ, ଶୁଭମୟ କଟୁ। ତ ଆଜି ଆମେ ଜାଣିବା ପ୍ରୋଗ୍ରାମିଂ କନସେପ୍ଟ। ତ ମୁଁ ଏବେ ଯେଉଁ ଭିଡ଼ିଓଟା କରିଥିଲି ଏତେ ସାରା ଭଲ ପାଇବା ଦେଇଥିବାରୁ ସେଥିରେ ଅଲମୋଷ୍ଟ 4 ସବସ୍କ୍ରାଇବର କରିଛନ୍ତି। ଆପଣଙ୍କୁ ବହୁତ ବହୁତ ସାରା ଧନ୍ୟବାଦ। ଯେଉଁ 4 ଜଣ ନୂଆ ସବସ୍କ୍ରାଇବ୍ କରିଛ। ତ ପାଣି ଯେଉଁବେଳେ ପିଅ ସବୁବେଳେ ପାଠ ସହିତ ନିଜର ହେଲ୍ଥ ମଧ୍ୟ ଧ୍ୟାନ ଦିଅ। ତ ଆଜି ଆମେ କ୍ଲାସ୍ କରିବା ପ୍ରୋଗ୍ରାମିଂ କନସେପ୍ଟ। ପାଠଟାକୁ ଗୋଟେ ଏକ ମାନେ ଅଧିକ ଦେବା କଥା ନୁହଁ, ତ ସେମିତି ନିଜର ହେଲ୍ଥ ବି ଦେବା ଦରକାର। ତମ ଯଦି ଭଏସ୍ ଯଦି କ୍ଲିଅର ଆସୁଛି କୁହ। The today class is programming concept. Programming concept. Programming concept. Daisy. So hello, Daisy sub club. The programming concept. Program can be defined as a set of instruction that needs to execute to accomplish a computing task. A person who writes to perform the program is known as programmer. A person who write or perform to program is not. A person who write to program to progress to program to perform to program is known as programmer. तो आउ थे जाना समस्त जय जगन्नाथ। तो प्रोग्राम यूज some specific language to write program which knows as programming language. तो C++, Java, etc. Programming होची language is C++, तो Java, etc. तो Node, Ada Lovelace is regarded as the world fast programmer. Ada Lovelace, तो Ada Lovelace होची प्रथम फास्ट प्रोग्रामर। Ada Lovelace। तो प्रोग्रामिंग लैंग्वेज जानिबा। It is the set of commands, instruction and other syntax used to create a software program. Programming language must be simple, easy. Hello brother. Simple, easy to learn to and use. It must be consistent terms of syntax and syntaxes. Hola. Brother, hola means the programming languages are mainly categorized into parts which are follows. The good work, bro. Thank you, brother. So low level language, the triple L means low level language कहा जाए triple L को। तो these programming languages are more different to understand. It designed to operate and handle the entire instruction set and computer system directly, which are generally used to write the system software. There are two types. Low level language which as follows: the machine language, assembly language. तो machine language कौन हमें जानिबा। तो machine language, it is the only language understood by the computer. Sometimes it refers as machine code or object code or binary language. The machine code object code रे होता है, आ गोटे होची binary language रे. So it is the collection of binary digit 0 to 1. तो binary digit कोड स्टार्ट होता है ना 0 to 1, 0 और 1 or bits that computer reads interprets. So assembly language है, it is the low level programming language. यदि क्वेश्चन आसे तो व्हाट इज द लो लेवल लैंग्वेज, तो कौन होची ना assembly language which used an interface with computer hardware. It uses structure commands as substitution for numbers, allowing humans to read the code easier than looking binary codes. तो मीडियम लेवल लैंग्वेज तो MLL से पढ़ते हैं LLL। तो लो लेवल लैंग्वेज तो मीडियम लेवल लैंग्वेज विषय में पढ़िया। तो मीडियम लेवल लैंग्वेज it it is serves as the bridge between uh, raw hardware and programming layer of a computer system. It is designed to improve translated code before it is executed by process EG3. The high level language, the HLL, it is an advanced computer programming language that is limited to one computer designed for a specific job, easier to understand. The easier job to under, understand. The main advantage of high level, the main advantage of high level language over low level language is that they are easier to read, write, and understand. Basic C, the Fortran, Java, Python, etc. The programming concept. Some high level language, their application areas. Language Fortran, the formula translation, the formula Fortran no full form होची ना formula translation एटा हैतला 1957 मसिया 1957 a team programs at a IBM developer हैतला तो application area होची calculation and nature होची compiled ALGOL algorithm language 1958 रे a committee of European and American computer scientists तो scientific purpose एटा होची compiled तो LISP होची लिस्ट प्रोसेसिंग कौन कहे LIC होची कौन LISP होची लिस्ट प्रोसेसिंग 1958 रे हितला तो जॉन एमसी कैथर्ड एट द मैसिव इंस्टीट्यूशन टेक्नोलॉजी MIT करथिले डेवलपर तो एप्लीकेशन एरियाज होची आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस द AI जोटा एलन मस्क रो जोटा बे अछि एलन मस्क द कंप्लाइज एज इंटरप्रेटेड 1958 रु प्रोग्राम चलछि AI रो 1958 किंतु आमे जानु छबे 2025 रे सो कोबोल द कॉमन बिजनेस एंड ओरिएंटेड लैंग्वेज 1958 ग्रेस होपियर द बिजनेस मैनेजमेंट स्ट्रेटिंग ओरिएंटेड कंप्रोमाइज्ड आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस होछि LISP लिस्ट प्रोसेसिंग रो आस्तला तो जॉन एमसी कैथरीन एट द मैसिव इंस्टीट्यूशन टेक्नोलॉजी MIT रो डेवलपर तो बेसिक the beginner all purpose symbolic instruction code तो 1964 रहतला तो जॉन जी केमिन थॉमस ई कुर्ता डजमेंट कॉलेज न्यू होपरियस प्रोग्रामिंग फॉर एजुकेशन पर्पज इंटरप्रेटर द पास्कल 1970 रहतला पास्कल द न्यूक्लियस विथ एजुकेशन रे कंप्राइज द नेचर होची कंप्राइज तो डेवलपर होची न्यूक्लियस विथ द सी होची 1972 रे डेनिस रिचल्स एट बेल लैब्स system programming compromised display real studio is the C DOS post as 1985 business students Bell Labs system objective programming compromised Python the Python is 1991 Python has 1991 good the resume multimedia mobile app image processing so interpreted तो जाभा होची 1995 रे ईयर हेतला 1995 ईयर रे स्टार्ट हेतला तो डेवलपर होची जेम्स गोस्लिंग सन माइक्रो सिस्टम्स तो इंटरनेट ओरिएंटेड प्रोग्रामिंग कॉम्प्रोमाइज्ड एंड इंटरप्रेटेड तो था जावास्क्रिप्ट पाइथन जावास्क्रिप्ट होची ना ब्रिटन रिच 1995 रे तो गेम्स एनिमेटेड 2D and 3D ग्राफिक्स कॉम्प्रोमाइज एंड इंटरप्रेटेड यदि क्वेश्चन आसे यदि गेम एनिमेटेड 2D and 3D गेम्स द जावास्क्रिप्ट कोडुना जावास्क्रिप्ट द्वारा एप्लीकेशन एरिया होची गेम्स 2D एनिमेशन एंड 3D ग्राफिक्स तो एटा जावास्क्रिप्ट तो जावा रहता है इंटरप्रेटर ओरिएंटेड प्रोग्रामिंग इंटरनेट ओरिएंटेड प्रोग्रामिंग जावा रे तो पाइथन होची मल्टीमीडिया मोबाइल ऐप इमेज प्रोसेसिंग पाइथन तो C प्लस सिस्टम ऑब्जेक्टिव प्रोग्रामिंग तो सिस्टम प्रोग्रामिंग एजुकेशन ने थाए पास्कल प्रोग्रामिंग एजुकेशनल पर्पज बेसिक पास्कल बेसिक इज कोबोल बिजनेस मैनेजमेंट स्टोरिंग ओरिएंटेड कोबोल तो LISP होची आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस एप्लीकेशन एरिया तो लैंग्वेज होची LISP पढ़िले जाके आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस विषय जानि पड़ो LISP होची लिस्ट प्रोसेसिंग कोन LISP रो होची लिस्ट प्रोसेसिंग कौन ना लिस्ट LISP रोज कौन ना लिस्ट प्रोसेसिंग कौन ना लिस्ट प्रोसेसिंग व्हाट द लिस्ट प्रोसेसिंग ALGL ହେଉଛି ସାଇଣ୍ଟିଫିକ୍ ପର୍ପୋଜ୍। ALGL ହେଉଛି କ'ଣ? ପୁଟନ୍ ହେଉଛି କାଲକୁଲେସନ୍। Terms related to programming. Terms related to programming. Program documentation is the kind of documentation that gives a compromised procedural description of program. It shows the how of software it is, and the program documentation describe what exactly a program does, maintaining about requirements of input data, aspect programming task. The OPPC, OP stands for Object Oriented Program, in which program considered as a lesson of object. Each object nothing but an internal class. Debugging, it is the process of locating, fixing, bypassing box computer program code. Computer program code. The language translator, it converts programming language into machine language. The translated program is called the object code. This one open used to program language translator divided into three categories which are followed. What is assembler? It converts a program written in assembly language into machine language. Assembly language consists of minimum code which difficult learn machine dependent. The interpreter, it converts HIL program into machine language by converting it line by line. If there is any error any line, it stops execution program immediately. Omega 0 Omega Man. Okay. Omega or zinc purpose. It stops the execution. Stop the execution of the program immediately and refers to the user at the same time. Program execution cannot. The program execution cannot resume until the error determined by the user. The interpreter, it is very useful. It is the very useful for debugging and suitable for running program. So this is the slow process and consumer less memory space time. Compiler, it converts HIL program. Thank you, brother. So it program into machine language. So where are you from? Venture Studios, which can be understood by the processor for each high level language. The machine requires separate compiler. A compiler creates a unique object. Program's source of program is compromised. There is no need of that source program because output can obtained by execution that object program. Compiler converts entire Hill program in the one go and reports all errors of the program algorithm line. Generation of language. The concept of language generation, sometimes called labels, closely connected to advances in technology that brought computer generation. 5 generation language as follows. Total 5 generation. Omega 0. Omega 0. Omega Man. Thank you, brother. The first generation language, or one GLC, low level language like machine language. So low level language, the first generation language, one GLC, low level language like machine language. The second generation language G2LS are also low level language that generally considered assembly language. The third generation language, the 3 GLC, the high level language such as Java. So high level language such as Java. The second is GLC, they also level language that generally consider assembly language. And the first generation language, one GLC, low level language like machine language. The first generation language, low level language, and second generation language is the assembly language. The third generation is high level language. The first generation of language is low level language. The second generation language is low. Okay, the assembly language considered the generation generally. The third generation is a high level language. The fourth generation of language are 4 GLC. The 4 GLC, the 4 GLC are the language that consists of statements similar to the statement human language 4GL is commonly used for database programming and scripting programming. The fifth generation language of 5GLS are programming language that contain visual tools which helps develop program. A good example of 5GLS is Visual Basic. Algorithm. An algorithm, that's the visual tools which help to develop program. A good example, the 5th generation. The 4th generation language that consists of similarity statement that human language 4GL is commonly used in database programming. The 4th generation language को use हुए क्या पाई ना database programming as scripting programming. तो 5th generation टा use है develop programming. A good example of 5 generation Visual Basic. The algorithm. What is the algorithm? An algorithm is the step-by-step method and solving problem. It is commonly used to data processing, calculation, and other related computer and mathematical operation. The algorithm. Good morning, sir. Okay. Good morning. An algorithm is step-by-step method. The algorithm is a step-by-step method solving problem. It commonly used for data processing, calculation, and other related computer and mathematical operation with them. Flowchart. A flowchart is visual representation of the sequence of steps decision needs the perform process. Each step as the sequence noted within diagram shape and lacked connecting lines and directly lines with it. Error. An error in a program is called the bug, a term used to describe any issue. Error is unnecessary that cause computers not work properly. Types of error. The types of error are classified in 4 categories which are closed. Types of error: syntax error, semantic error, logical error, and runtime error. Totally 4 type. The 4 type error अच्छी generation अच्छी 5 time. The 4 time error अच्छी syntax error होची when the rules of the program language are not followed, the compiler will show syntax error. कौन पा जाए ना syntax error पा जाए. When the rules of the program language are not followed by the compiler, will show syntax error. Which the rules of the program language are not followed the compiler. The semantic error. The semantic error are reported by the compiler when the statement is written for program not made compiler. The logical error. Logical errors are those errors that occurs the output of the programs. The presence of logic errors leads to incorrect output. So runtime error. Runtime errors that are the error occurred during the execution of a program generally occurs that some illegal operation. So totally 4 types of error अछि कोटे syntax, semantic, runtime as logical error. Reserved words are words the programming language has set aside for the own use. It is the programming language but simply implements the described program. It does not follow in syntax strictly. Looping. It is the control structure which used in program execution particular set of statement repeatedly. So data flow diagram होची DFD describe the purpose the international data. तो थैंक यू एते सारा लोक जोड़ी हेथिबारु फर्स्ट वीडियो रे एते सारा भल पाइ देथिबारु प्रोग्रामिंग कांसेप्ट. नेक्स्ट वीडियो रे हमें प्रोग्रामिंग कांसेप्ट रो क्वेश्चन आंसर करिया एमसीक्यू पैटर्न. तो समस्त जोड़ी रो थैंक यू लेडीज एंड जेंटलमैन एते सारा भल पाइ देथिबारु. तो टोटली 56 नंबर क्वेश्चन अछि. सो लेट्स से गुड बाय, सी यू नेक्स्ट वीडियो. ओके बाय, लव यू ऑल.